Shalom, Kol Holo Yamla Yahweh, Bahasham Yahawashi, or praise to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahawashi. Yahweh is the name of the Most High Power, who the world ignorantly calls God, the Ancient of Days, the Father of Spirits, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the Holy One of Israel, Yahweh of hosts. Yahawashi Mashiach is the only begotten Son, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, the Holy One of the Most High Power, who gave life for the sins of the nation of Israel and resurrected on the third day, and is coming back in these last days to deliver the elect of the nation of Israel. I'm about to get into this. I'm just going to jump right into it. This is Proverbs 22 and 24. Make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man thou shalt not go. Verse 25, lest thou learn his ways and get a snare to thy soul. Now you have certain people that they complain about, you'll meet somebody and you'll think they're going through it. And they complain about what everybody's doing to them, what they going through. They did this person, they did that to that person. This happened to them and that happened to them. And they tell you about the story and you'll feel sorry for them. You'll tell them, oh, that's messed up. I would never do that to somebody that would happen to them. Well, what this person is telling you, what the other people did to them, you will say you would never do that to somebody. This and that. The stories is amazing. The stories is believable. But at the same time, when you make friendship with that individual, you find out that all those people that he was complaining about, it was him the whole time. Not that he was the one doing it to them. But you find out that you end up doing the same thing what those people were doing to him. And you do it to him too. Because they're not the problem. This person has a complaint about everybody that's in the world, about what they doing to them in all these situations. But when you find out they're the problem, that's what you find out. This is Proverbs 22 and 24. Make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man thou shalt not go, lest thou learn his ways and get a snare to thy soul. Make no friendship with an angry man. You got people that act like the whole world is against them. But you have certain individuals that's like that. You're an outcast, you're not of the world, nothing like that. But at the same time too, you got people that do that just to exploit other people. They complain about everybody, but it's them. I must say this. Look how Solomon said, you find more bitter in death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. When the scriptures sometimes it says man's for certain things. A man surpasses a woman every time. But how much more for a woman? Look how subtle and crafty women are. So you got women that's like this. You'll meet a woman, she be like, oh, what you call it? What you ain't supposed to be dealing with no divorced woman anyway. But I'm just talking as far as in the world. You got women that talk about, oh, this person, her ex did this to her, ex did that to her. Oh, she's hurt and she's sad and all that. And somebody else will end up dealing with her, and they find out that it wasn't that ex that was messed up. It was her. She was the problem. It wasn't him. Make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man thou shalt not go, lest thou learn his ways and get a snare to thy soul. So you're going to be the one that's going to end up in a messed up situation after you learn what that person's about. You got certain people too, I brought this up before, where they have a common enemy. So them two will get in cahoots with each other because they got a common enemy. Now when the war is over with that enemy, that person either two things. Well, the first thing I'm gonna say, see, you have a certain individual that one of the individuals was cool with that enemy before, but the other person was always adversaries with that individual. The common enemy is always adversaries. So the thing about what will happen is the other individual who used to be friends with that enemy, they settle their differences, squash it and settle their differences. And when they settle their differences, them two will go against the mutual friend against the enemy. Them two, the enemy and one of the ones that was against the enemy, they'd make up. But the other individual that was always adversaries, they will go against him and he'll be left out. Make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man thou shalt not go, lest thou learn his ways and get a snare to thy soul. Or that other individual, he would just find out that with the mutual friend was, well, he's complaining about the common enemy, it was him the whole time, you know. And then at the same time too, after the war is over, that's when he'll find out. And when the war is over, that person who's the tactics and everything he's using against the common enemy, he uses that person he's teaming up against with the enemy. You know, after the war is over, you find out, because there wasn't no root to that. That's built on strife. That's built on carnality. You know, it's built on war. That's what war is. War is sometimes like a business. You know, some people gain what they call it. So some people get closer when after there's a war. But what you call it, some people don't. It's not always about that. This is Sirach. I'm elaborating more. This is Sirach 12:16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. You know, that's another thing. Make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man thou shalt not go, lest thou learn his ways and get a snare to thy soul. This is Sirach 8:16. Strive not with an angry man, and go not with him into a solitary place, for blood is as nothing in his sight, and where there is no help, he will overthrow thee. You know, that happened in Juice. You remember the movie Juice with Tupac, Umar Epps, and all these people in it. When you had Still, you went after all that happened with Raheem, you had Still. He went with Bishop. They was at the arcade and the bar and all that. And Bishop, though he was Bishop found out he talking behind his back to Q on the phone. And what Bishop did, he took him to a solitary place, and that's how he got him. You know? That's just an example. This is Sirach 8:12. Lend not unto him that is mightier than thyself, for if thou lendest him, count it but loss. This is yeah, I just came across this and it's true. You know, this is my first time coming across this scripture, but this is Sirach 8:11. Rise not up in anger at the presence of an injurious person, lest he lie in wait to entrap thee in thy words. One more time. Sirach 8:12. Rise not up in anger at the presence of an injurious person, lest he lie in wait to entrap thee in thy words. How true is this, man? This is you have certain scenarios where, well, you know, some call it Captain Save-A-Ho. You know, you have certain people that, yeah, they lying for injurious persons, talking about one who's harmful, one who's carnal, one who's harmful. So the thing about it is, you have a man in public, he might be cursing out his wife or whatever, and his wife might be in the wrong, but when he's rebuking his wife, this individual comes, oh, why you talking to women like that? This and that, and they end up getting into it. This is a common thing. You know, you got some people that when they talking, you know, they just saying something just to say it, and then you got this individual like, oh, he ain't talking to me. I know he ain't talking to me. Nobody's even talking to this individual. You know, you got certain instances, because not every mother is a good mother, but you got certain instances where the mother's getting an argument with her son. She getting into an argument with her son, and then you got this dude come out of nowhere, punch him in his face, knock him down. Oh, don't talk to your mother like that. This dude don't even know the situation. I'm gonna read this again. Sirach 8:11. Rise not up in anger at the presence of an injurious person, lest he lie in wait to entrap thee in thy words. You know? Gotta love the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, and the Apocrypha. So this is along with Proverbs, you know. This is Sirach 8:19. Open not thine heart to every man, lest he requite thee with a shrewd turn. You know. One more time, Sirach 8:19. Open not thine heart to every man, lest he requite thee with a shrewd turn. You know, you can't trust everybody. Everybody's not cool. You can't love everybody like some of you dudes be trying to do. You know, you will regret it. You will surely regret it. This is Sirach 11:33. Take heed of a mischievous man, for he worketh wickedness, lest he bring upon thee a perpetual blot. This is Sirach 11:29, which everybody must take heed of this. Well, we must all take heed of all these things, but I'm just going to read on. Sirach 11:29, bring not every man into thine house, for the deceitful man hath many trains. One more time, Sirach 11:29, bring not every man into thine house, for the deceitful man hath many trains. One thing you want to do, you don't ever bring everybody into your house. You don't let everybody know what's going on. First of all, you don't let nobody get familiar with your wife. You don't let nobody get familiar with your family. You don't let nobody get familiar with any of that. Thing about it is, you never know, because a lot of friends turn into enemies. And when friends turn into enemies, when an enemy know where you at, he get the drop on you. Another thing is, it's not always that friends turn to enemies. Dig this, friends turn into strangers. Best friends turn into strangers. So that friend would turn to a stranger, and then years later, he find an enemy that friend had, and he'd be like, you know what, this dude was alright. I don't know why my old friend had a problem with this dude. So now they get cool, and he's a stranger, and now he told that enemy about your business. Now that enemy got the drop on you. You know. Some reason one more time. This is Sirach 11:29. Bring not every man into thine house, for the deceitful man have many trains. Reading on. Like as a partridge taken and kept in a cage, so is the heart of the proud, and like as a spy watcheth he for thy fall. Reading on. This is 11:31. Sirach. For he lieth in wait, and turneth good into evil, and in things worthy praise will lay blame upon thee. You know, slander you too. But best believe is a recompense for all of this. Be not deceived, Yahweh is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that also shall he reap, as is written. You know. This is Sirach 6:4. A wicked soul shall destroy him that have it, and shall make him to be laughed to scorn of his enemies. One more time, Sirach 6:4. A wicked soul shall destroy him that have it, and shall make him to be laughed to scorn of his enemies. Now, who this happened to? This happened to Debo on Friday. You know, all that stuff Debo been doing at the end. Everybody cheering him on to get hurt. He got knocked out. Everybody, now he's made scorn of. You know. You saw what Smokey did to him. You got knocked out. You got knocked the F out and all that. While he's on the ground, everybody got their stuff back. You know, Red knocked him out. Took the bike and all that. You know, that's how it is. I'm read it again. A wicked soul, Sirach 6:4. A wicked soul shall destroy him that have it, and shall make him be laughed to scorn of his enemies. Another thing too is that scripture in Sirach says, "Lend not unto him that is mightier than thou, for if thou lendest him counted by loss," roughly paraphrasing. Cause that even happened too when they went into Stanley house while he's gone, and they took the money. And when Smokey when Smokey what he told him, he's like, oh, we got about $200. He said, no, I got about $200, because he's mightier than him. What could Smokey do to him? Even though he didn't actually lend it to him, but this also happens, you know. Or you lend somebody something, they ain't gonna give it back to you, depending on if you a coward or something like that, you know. This is Sirach 12:1. When thou wilt do good. I mean, not even that. I'm talking about the Stanley thing, but check out with the whole bike thing. Well, Red lent him his bike at the beginning of the movie. Dude, Red, who he uppercut in the air. We gonna be doing stuff like that to Esau, you know. But what you call it? When he told him that he wanted his bike back that he lended him. The beach cruising went up and asked me about. You know, it's like both of ours. Oh, you know I wouldn't trip. What he did? He's like, oh, it's right here. Uppercut him right in the air. Don't lend to him that's mightier than yourself. You ain't gonna get it back. It says counted loss. This is Sirach 12:1. When thou wilt do good, know to whom thou doest it, so shalt thou be thanked for thy benefits.